What's up, everybody? It's Casey, just Casey, with Two Worlds Podcast. Jake, you know, he got lost in a good old book, and he just was like, I can't do it. I'm too busy reading, which, good on him. So it's just me tonight. I don't really know why I said night. You're probably not listening to this night, but yeah, I got some news. I do want to get into the YouTube comment from last week. I saw it while I was doing some other stuff on the YouTubes, so I need to pull that up really quick if I can. But should have already had that ready. All right. Yeah, so it was from Mr. Gerblaw, as Jake calls him, my little brother. And he's like, this is going to be pretty long, so you have to read it all. But he's like, this is a hard one. Peter David was my favorite comic writer before I was keeping track of that. He's like, when I was a wee child, we got X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, and Excalibur in the mail monthly. I don't remember that at all, so I don't know if I was there for that. Of those, X-Factor was my favorite, I think, because of both the characters in it and their dynamic. Mind you, I was in grade school, so who actually knows? Probably because Havoc just looked so dang cool, and Strong Guy was a big, meaty man. Again, I mean, Havoc, if you've seen the 90s Havoc costume, he does look cool as all hell. Fast forward to high school, I'm already a fan of Tim Drake Robin and Superboy, and they're in a book with Impulse called Young Justice. I find the third issue at Walden Books, and it becomes my favorite book for years to come. Got it monthly. It was a very formative comic for me. Years passed, and I found out that X-Factor is back, and it's by Peter David. And more than that, that Peter David is the same guy who wrote X-Factor when I was a kid and Young Justice. Then I just happened upon the Madrox Collected mini-series that led to the X-Factor run and fell in love with it, which is amazing. Read the entire run, so yeah, sorry it's not the normal format. If you want, you can skip to this part. My Peter David Fantastic Four would be the first X-Factor run, Young Justice, the second X-Factor run, writing for comics and graphic novels with Peter David. As Greg Proops would say, he is swirling in heaven right now, and Kevin Smith would say, big bucket of wind. And as I would say, sometimes life gets pretty dark, and sometimes when that happens, all you have are distractions to help you through it. Thank you, Peter David, for being one of the better distractions. You will be missed. Well put, Nick. Yeah, it's rough that he's gone. He was damn good. That Madrox series is amazing. If you haven't read it, check it out. Check out any of his work if you're not familiar. It's all gonna at least have very good dialogue. His Supergirl, I'm not gonna lie, just hearing about his Supergirl sounds like a trip. That would not be one I'd start with. That'd be one you'd get to after you get to the through X-Factor and Young Justice. But so yeah, I got some news. It's all kind of like just fluff, nothing major, but we'll get through it. EA is closing Cliffhanger Studios and in the process canceling the Black Panther game. Apparently, we just don't get superhero games anymore that aren't Spider-Man. Apparently, because this one got done, and then when is the Wolverine game coming out? Is it ever coming out? I'm not convinced. The Penguin showrunner says they're in the early stages for more The Batman spinoffs. I didn't watch The Penguin. I had interest, but I just didn't have Max. But it's maybe just focus on the movies, guys. Just focus on the movie. So we got the first look at the King of the Hill revival. I don't know if any of you guys are listening or King of the Hill fans. I know Jake is. They just did the opening scene and then also kind of talked about what happened. Basically Hank and Peggy and I'm assuming Bobby all left and they worked in Saudi Arabia, or Hank worked in Saudi Arabia selling propane and propane accessories, and now he's back with his retirement nest egg, and then Bobby's he's doing his dream job of being a chef. I mean, I'm hoping for the best. So we'll see how it goes. Let us know down below. Are you excited for it? It's coming out in August. It was supposed to IMDb for the longest time was saying it was coming out in June. It never did. So now, or late May was what it was saying, and now it never did. And now they're it's coming in August. So let's hope. We finally get it's speaking of release dates, we got the release date for the final season of Stranger Things. It's going to be in 3 parts. Volume 1 is going to be November 26th. Volume 2 is Christmas. And Volume 3 is New Year's. It's like, man, you guys have really just, like, killed any excitement at least I had for it. I don't know if anyone listening is like, oh yeah, no, I'm excited to watch Stranger Things on Christmas. Get out of here. You know, this show that hasn't been on in 5 years. Let's just use our Christmas time to watch it. Whatever. We're getting a Shin Godzilla 4K remaster coming to theaters on August 14th. If it's in a theater near me, you know I'm gonna go see it. I didn't get to see it in theaters the first time. It was like a little bit before like we were getting these kind of crazy cool releases like close by. Like I think the closest one was in St. Louis, and then that was also the like during harvest. So I was busy loading grain bins whenever that was going on. I was like, oh man. I was like, I trying to do the math. Like, if we get done in 2 days, I could maybe make this, but there's no way. But man, like I said, if it comes close, and I'll be there. All right, so I'm gonna talk about this because it was kind of like all over Twitter, and I'm like a recovering Doctor Who fan. I haven't watched since Matt Smith, but the newest Doctor, his season finale for his series ended, or it happened, and he like I saw the end because it was all over Twitter. He ends up regenerating, and like I guess in Capaldi's run they came up with this dumb thing where it was like, oh, if you've seen a face, if you're a Time Lord, you've seen a face before, you can use that face as your thing. And so the Doctor goes out and he uses his regenerative power to save the world or something, and then his face turns into Rose Tyler, and she's like, oh, hello. And that's how it ends. It's like, if David Tennant couldn't help you save the show, I don't think Rose Tyler is going to either. Or, I mean, Billy Piper. Like, especially with Russell's writing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's going to be awesome. Maybe the Whovians are going to love it. To me, it's just kind of like, you're trying this again? Like, all respect to her, it's just kind of dumb. But let me know if there's any Doctor Who fans here and what you thought of the finale. They brought old Jodie back, which I hear, and this is like kind of like she talks for a little bit, and like the consensus about her is always like, she was a fine Doctor, but God, that writing was terrible. And you know, and like the little bit of her that I watched, I'm like, yeah, she does seem like she'd be a fine Doctor. But then like I hear about some of the retcon stuff that happened in her stories, and like, oof, that is pretty rough though. And then we got some Legend of Zelda movie rumors, which I'm like, this is wild. So this was all over Twitter, at least my Twitter feed for a little bit. I'm gonna find the person's name, but there was someone was saying like, oh, they think they know who it's gonna be, Zelda in the Legend of Zelda movie. It's gonna, they're gonna get Hunter Schafer. I think I'm pronouncing her last name right. She's this actress that I think is in Euphoria. She's also in a Hunger Games movie, but people were mad. Like, they posted a picture where she does look like one of the Zeldas. I'm not gonna like, when they post like pictures of the current Zelda game Zelda, I don't see it personally. The Breath of the Wild Zelda, it doesn't really look like her, but the frickin' what is it? Not Majora's Mask. I don't think Zelda's in that one, but the other one, Ocarina of Time Zelda. Yeah, that looks they very much look alike, but people are mad because she is trans, so they're like, that's, typical Twitter anger and stuff. I don't know if she can act. I don't know really anything about her, but I mean, I don't think they should make a Legend of Zelda movie. So who cares? I mean, besides people on Twitter, I guess. But let us know down below. You think she'd be a good one? Did you watch Euphoria? Because I didn't. But and this is why this is like a roller coaster though, because then that came out, and then like 2 days go by, and then it comes out. They're like, actually, they weren't interested in her. She just put that rumor out there to try to get interest for her to be Zelda. And so it's like, oh, okay, so they don't have anybody yet. We don't know anything about it yet. All right. Yeah, so I mean, let us know, who do you want to be? Who do you want to have be Zelda, and who do you want to have be Link? You know, I mean, I keep calling for Tom Holland to be Link, but let's change it up. Let's go Finn Wolfhard and Millie Bobby Brown. Let's just be crazy with it. Then next up, there's a rumor that for the Superman movie to be successful, it has to make at least $700 million globally. Like, pre-pandemic, that would have been easy as all hell. Post-pandemic, I'm like, hope it can. I really do. I think, it'd be great if it did, because, I mean, if it fails, I think the DCU would be dead. So we'll see. Rooting for it. If it's good. And if it's crap, then I'll be like, well, that's too bad. Another one of those, but I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. I mean, I've said before, I don't think it's going to be good, but I'm like, the trailers kind of got me like, it might be on par with the other two Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where they just try really hard to make you sad, and you're like, not really falling for it, but whatever. But the last thing I have is a rumor that Bryan Cranston is on Marvel's shortlist to play Professor X. So I don't know how I feel about him as Professor X. He's a really good actor, so I think he'll do fine, but maybe he'll be fine. I like him, so we'll see. But that's the news for this week. Let us know. Do you think Bryan Cranston would be a good one of those old Professor X's, or would you rather have somebody different? So the comics I read this week, I'll just kind of get through them pretty quick. Read Detective Kaiju issue 1, Minor Arcana issue 7, Metamorpho the Element Man issue 6, G.I. Joe issue 7, Justice League Unlimited issue 7, Green Lantern 23, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell issue 2 of 3, Superman issue 26, and Batman Hush 160. So, just going to start with Detective Kaiju. I have no idea what this is. It's from the pages of Quested. Jake got it for me because he's like, yeah, I know he likes Kaiju and detective stuff, so this is like right up his alley, and he's right. It's by Michael Calero with Kit Wallace. Art's fun. Story's interesting. It kind of jumps back and forth, but I dig it. I just, like I said, I don't know what the heck Quested is. I don't know anything about it, but I like the story, so go 7.5 out of 10. Next up, Minor Arcana. So this is by Jeff Lemire. It's drawn by Letizia Cadonci. And so I think this is the first one that Jeff Lemire didn't also do the art for. I could be wrong on that. And I like this issue, though. So, yeah, the detective kind of picks up the main girl, and they look at some stuff together, and it's interesting. I'm curious what's going on. It's like we're finally getting somewhere, it feels like, after 7 issues that take like, I think 2 months a piece to come out, but at least something's actually happening. So I like that. I'm not sure when the next issue. Oh, the next issue's coming out in June, so that's nice. Yeah, so I'll probably say this is another 7.5. It's a solid issue. I like it. I'm curious where it goes. All right, Metamorpho the Element Man by Al Ewing with. I'm trying to find. Oh, come on. I know who it is. It's Steve Lieber on the art. And there's some really good jokes in this one, but still it kind of falls into the problem of alleying or just writing too much and not getting the punchline soon enough and everything. But the best joke I just have to read. Um, Basically, they're trying to stop Solaris, and they realize the best way to do that is if they use what is it? The stag. Like stag has his own element basically. It's a stagium, and so like Metamorpho has to go up there and become stagium, blah blah blah. And they're like, well, why can't you send the Agent Blackwell, Miss Metamorpho, into the sun and blow up? And she's like, would that she could, my dear. But sadly, no element man, woman, or gal can become an element not originally in their human body. And Rex Mason was the only one with trace elements of stagium in his system when he got metamorphosed. Luckily, I had the foresight to prepare him for this eventuality years ago. Ah, memories. And it goes, years ago. At last, I've created the world's first stagium bullet and loaded it into this gun. Nothing can go wrong. Mr. Stag, Rex Mason, pleased to meet you. I've come to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And then it cuts back to now. Metamorpho's like, you shot me in the pelvis. It's like, well, you startled me. I didn't have time to aim properly. And so that gave me a chuckle. But, that joke could have also been got to much quicker than that. So yeah, it's fine. The series as a whole is fine. It's nothing that, I'm going to be like, you guys need to go out and read or write DC to do more of this. So I'm going to go probably a 6, and probably the series as a whole, a 6. The art's really good, though. Steve Lieber's amazing. So next up, G.I. Joe issue 7 by Josh Williamson and Andrea Milani. And so this is, this is a Beachhead issue, which I've been wanting some Beachhead. Been wanting really any of the characters that I grew up playing with. Beachhead was one of them because he had a mask. And masks are cool. So, yeah, he's on a secret mission. And now we're getting a new secret team. It's going to be cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm probably at an 8.5 for it. It was a good read. Y'all should be reading G.I. Joe if you're not. Justice League Unlimited issue 7 by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. I'm not going to lie. This book has really taken, it really took a hit for me personally with, those 2 issues of, kind of filler issues that didn't do a lot to move the plot on and stuff, or, the time travel issue stuff that we went through. It kind of, it just hurt it a lot for me. So yeah, I've lost a lot of interest in this crossover as a whole. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll get better. It's weird to me though, because it's just weird from the start. Because the only time I've ever seen this one character, the kid that was the traitor, I'm blanking on his name. He was Hal Jordan's cousin, and it's that's just not even a thing in this. Oh, it's Airwave, that's his name, and it's that's not even mentioned. Even the comic that I read that in, Hal was yeah, we're not really that close. He'd be the cousin that's at the family reunion that you don't really talk to too much, but it's still weird, But whatever. This is probably I don't know, probably a 6 for me. I'm just, like I said, it 100% killed the momentum with those other 2 books, because I was a lot more into it before that. So, Green Lantern by Jeremy Adams and Zermanico. Pretty darn cool. Yeah, they have to, we get, the 2 different stories. You get the light thing that they were trying to get, and then the Spectre shows up, and Hal fights with the Spectre. I kind of disagree with how well Hal, takes the Spectre down and stuff, but that is what it is. They kind of wrote it off because Spectre doesn't have a host right now and all that stuff, but still, Spectre without a host is pretty darn tough, and it doesn't make any sense that Hal could hold him off like that. But yeah, I'm probably at an 8.5. I liked it. So Daredevil, Cold Day and Hill, issue 2 by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Jake had mentioned this, that McNiven's art just isn't as good, and he's right. It's really a letdown, though his Electra stuff is pretty darn cool in this. But yeah, this is like I want to like this a lot more than I do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm probably at a 7 for it. It just didn't work for me. Okay, so Superman issue 26. This is by Joshua Williamson, Eddie Barrows, Eber Ferreira, and Sean Izaskis on the art. Superman's got the red stuff still wrong with him. He's all upset too at Luthor because Luthor killed the fake Bizarro Luthor that also had Superman's stuff and all that. Like, that's one of the dumbest things. It's like, Superman, you killed Doomsday once. Do you remember that? This thing could have been just as bad. It also didn't have a soul. It ain't got no soul, Superman. It's a clone. So yeah, I just thought that was like another one of those things where it's like forced being angry. Superman's also, not too happy with the old whatchamacallits, the super factory or whatever, the super core. And then looks like we're gonna get some Lena Luthor and Supergirl Town, and also an interlude with the time trapper, and Luthor's dealing with his stuff with the old farm and graft, which it's like wasn't a fan of them the first time, but we'll see. We'll see how this shakes out. This is a good book, though. It always is. Probably an 8.5 for it. And lastly, and very much leastly, I wish Jake was here just to talk about this book. We got Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee's Batman Hush, issue 160. Yeah, so I really hate this. This is one of those things I just hate in comics in general. It's like they go out of their way to make Batman be like, he's the greatest everything of all time. He trained these kids to be the greatest everythings also. And then, like, it's like, Jason's fighting Hush. And, like, it'll be like that type of stuff. And it'll be like, oh, well, all Hush is a, really good surgeon. It's like, yeah, he's just as good as all, the Bat family. So yeah, Batman's doing some investigating. Dick is fighting Jason. Joker gets the guns. Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, this was so dumb. Kind of forgot how dumb this is. Batman's fighting Hush's new guy that he's teaming up with. Hush is whispering now too, which I think is really stupid. But then out of the window, Robin's like, "Sick 'em, Bane!" Like, that's literally what he says. Like, what? So yeah, Bane fights the guy, and then Hush shows up with his scalpel at Robin's throat because, again, a surgeon could sneak up on a kid trained by Batman and the League of Assassins. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, so if you can't tell, I'm not a fan of this book. It's not as bad as last issue, I'll give it that. Like, at least it got better from there, but Jim's art's not even as good as what it should be, in my opinion. Like, it's fine, but, like, what's going on here? That doesn't look good to me. So, yeah, it's a letdown. I'm probably at like a 4.5. Like I said, it's a real letdown. So yeah, this was like a week of okay books. G.I. Joe, like I said, is my pick of the week. I really like G.I. Joe. Yeah, man. So, what am I excited for in the coming week? We'll find out because I'll pull up the thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this Batman Hush though. It's kind of just a real letdown. Um, what I'm excited for, I'll go Godzilla Heist. That's actually been really good. Hellverine, because I just love it. It's such a weird, fun book. And I'll say Red Hulk. If you're not reading Red Hulk, you should. Or no, I'll go Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. That needs to be on the list. And, I mean, since it's just me, I don't really have a Fantastic Four. It's more fun when we can bounce stuff off. Here's one that I'll do just for fun for you guys to answer in the comments. How about that? Give me the 4 least favorite sequels. So I never read one of them, but I always remember seeing it and it just looking not good. Was The Kingdom. It was a Kingdom Come sequel. I think Mark Waid still wrote it, but they couldn't get Alex Ross on the art, so that was already a letdown just looking at it. It might be really good, but I don't know. I think because like the pictures were always like Magog and like different dead Superman, if I remember right. I remember always seeing that like Wizard magazine as an advertisement, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's weird. And then I'll go with most of the Before Watchmen. I know that's not a sequel, but I'm counting it as one. Like, I'm not even a big fan of the original Watchmen, but the Minutemen stuff by Darwin Cook was really good. The rest of it was, I tried reading all of it, and it just wasn't good at all. And then, another sequel comic that wasn't as good. The other Hush stuff. Really, like, because this isn't the first time we've had a Hush sequel, and those were all pretty rough. So yeah, that. And last, I'm trying to think of a Marvel sequel book, it just kind of sucked, because like we had Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest, and both of those were good. But it was all the same creative team, so that usually helps. Unlike with this Batman Hush, which I'm like, why does this suck? Another comic book. I'm gonna Google a comic book sequel, see if I can figure one out really quick to do this. I don't know though. I think comic book sequel stuff should be pretty easy if you get this right people, but who knows anymore, really. I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. But I'm trying to think, what would be a good one? Or not a good one, but just one that was a letdown. I'm gonna go, actually, I got one. Charles Soule's current Daredevil. This has been a letdown. It's The Cold Day in Hell, because it's a sequel to his Daredevil run. So yeah, there you have it. Let me know some of yours down below. I should have been prepared for that one. Love to stay in chat, but I don't feel like talking to myself anymore. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.